The aggressive and harsh government of North Korea spends millions to have the fourth largest paramilitary army in the world, while at the same time allowing malnourishment, disease, and curable illnesses to run rampant and out of control on its population. The fact that the extremist government imposes such harsh life conditions that border guards have orders to shoot their own civilians if caught fleeing does not allow for us to deny our responsibility for these lucky few refugees who make it out. The government of North Korea is the default cause of a humanitarian disaster that feeds into the underground sex trade, human trafficking, extortion, and slavery on a massive scale. Humanitarian crimes occur on a daily basis in North Korean prison camps and so-called re-education centers.
As Yodak, the idea that a country can treat its own citizens this poorly on such a systematic level is simply unacceptable.
Very little is known about Yodak because very few people have left it. Yodak is thought to hold some 50,000 North Korean prisoners.
The worst part about this problem is how we respond to these people who so desperately need our help. All major powers within the UN, including China, adhere to Article 35 when dealing with refugees. The border of North and South Korea is the most fortified position on Earth, the result of two countries still in a state of war. This leaves only the long multinational way around. The refugees must flee into another totalitarian nation where they are still not safe, China. To complicate matters, China, who should be playing a proactive role in this refugee crisis, has become an enabler. Due to a gender imbalance in China brought on by its one-child policy, demand for women are high. Conditions in North Korea, being as bad as they are, lead many women and children to flee into China. These women pay a guide to lead them through the border and into China. Unfortunately, once across the border, these women and children are often sold by the same people they paid to get across into slavery. These Chinese guides traffic humans across borders to sell women into male-dominated farming communities where they fetch a high price and into underground sex brothels in the cities. Unable to speak the language and having no rights in China, they are trapped and have little chance at help. Many are caught and sent back to North Korea. Due to increasingly large numbers of North Korean refugees in border towns and nearby Chinese cities, the Chinese government has demanded the construction of a concrete wall to run the length of the border in an effort to maintain North Korean refugees. The North Korean government started construction on this wall last year. Is this how we expect a permanent member of the UN Security Council to act? During the last year alone, the government of North Korea has acted out aggressively against its neighbors. This has had a massive fallout and repercussions for its people. The shutdown of several cooperative work towns and joint business ventures with South Korea, UN trade restrictions and embargoes aimed at strangling the government trickled down to its impoverished people. Further restrictions on an already impoverished nation with a government that cares more for its military than its citizens is not going to help the humanitarian side of this. These canceled humanitarian efforts only give more fuel to the propaganda being spread by the North Korean government that foreigners do not care about them. Private organizations are helping these refugees in more ways than any government. A Christian congregation in Seoul under Pastor Chung Ki-won has personally helped out North Koreans escape into China down the route to Thailand, where he personally meets them to bring them back to South Korea.
Every day I receive calls, faxes, emails from those who want to get to freedom. I can't be indifferent.
Pastor Chung Ki-won says it's a 50-50 ratio for those who make it. Recommendations. The North Korean refugee is a special case. because they have a de facto government that is willing to accept them. These people can be easily relocated to a similar cultural, language, and climate to that of their own. Pressure should be put on China internationally and from within the UN to perform when put under the task. The Chinese government should allow all North Korean exiles and refugees to enter South Korean embassies in Beijing. A separate UN council should be formed to oversee development of the North Korean refugee program. UN restrictions and sanctions should be lifted and pressure added to all UN members not to cut humanitarian aid to North Korea regardless of diplomatic tension. Optimally, to allow for a more free hand in aiding the people of North Korea and to end this humanitarian crisis created by war, the UN should make it a priority to establish a peace accord between the two Koreas that would allow for an ease in tensions and a more workable North Korea.